Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. Today we're going to do kind of like a roundup video on a bunch of stuff we have going on with the 32 Roadster. We've been doing a little bit of work in the background on this car, and we decided we probably should shoot a video on all the different things that come together to make this car actually like start and run. So one thing I've been working around in the background, and we decided to stop and shoot a video, is we got a set of headers out of our stash that I ended up modifying. So I think these are an old set of aftermarket headers. They're actually pretty well made, but I don't know what car they were in or what steering was used with them. I did have to modify them. On this side, they bolted up pretty good, and I was able to just make down pipes that come down to get us going in the right direction for the exhaust. On this side, I had to cut this whole rear pipe completely off because it was jammed into the steering box, and it's still pretty tight, but it has enough room that it won't hit. But before, it was already smashed in with a hammer. So I did a bunch of welding on that, got the downpipe welded on that. We're doing pretty good. Steve's got all the fuel system all buttoned up on this car. All the brake lines are already run on the car, just standard stuff we showed you a bunch of times. So, but he's gonna be working on some wiring. I'm gonna show you a couple of things we're doing. Whoops, with the wiring. On the inside of the car. So we got one of these simple, they're super cheap, and you can still get them. They use like the glass fuses under here. You can use the glass type fuses with these, which are nice. They're early style fuses. We got a little fuse box. It's like a help fuse box, I think, that you can get at your local auto parts store. I think I might even bought like 5 of them on Amazon for like $2 to $5 a piece or something stupid. So we got a bunch of them. I think it'll give an old look to it. This car originally had the fuse box actually mounted up by the left motor mount all the way at the front, and I didn't really love that idea, being out in the weather and in the open. So we decided to move it on the inside here, a slight little change. Other thing Steve did is he cleaned up the old hand fuel pump. So this had a little pressurized fuel pump for racing, and Steve was able to clean that up, and you can see the cool little Bakelite knob that's on there. We started figuring out where some of the holes were. A headlight switch ended up being right here, and he mounted that back in place. We think a choke was mounted here, so we're eventually going to mount the choke. We got the steering column going back together. We found this cool aircraft, I don't know where we bought this, maybe a Moultrie or something.
No, I think it was at Spring Carlisle.
But I found these they're like aircraft or helicopter, you said, Mike?
I think they're Korean War helicopter. If there's a part number, we can show that.
But anyways, they're early, it's a military style safety switch. So we're going to start installing some of these on the vehicle. On this car, it'll look the part because it's old kind of aircraft or military looking switch. So we're going to be mounting that probably somewhere down by the seat here. And we picked up some hoses for, we had some people asking about lower hoses for the Model or for the 59AB. It needs like a little joggle in the hose. You can see how they're offset; they're not straight. I looked on the Ham. The Ham is a great place, Strawby Journal, for information still, even though it's not as active as it used to be. There is a ton of great information on there. Somebody commented with the part number for this. It's a Gates 21236 hose. It has the correct inside diameter, and it has this perfect little joggle in it to fit on there. So I just got these in the mail. We're gonna get them slipped on, and hopefully by the end of this video, we might be able to fire this thing with the gas tank hooked up and a little bit of wiring hooked up. So we're gonna get busy. We got a lot to do. We'll show you some stuff along the way, and hopefully we make noise by the end of this video. So let's get started. All right, so we got our battery tray all made up. Test fitted a couple of times, added some braces, and we are pretty much ready to melt this in. Found that test fit the battery and everything, and seems like it'll be pretty straightforward to put the battery in from the top where you would mostly be working. Should work out pretty good. So I gotta get this all mounted into place so Steve can see where he needs to terminate his battery cables. Can you help me get those started?
Yep. Absolutely.
Good, yeah, yep.
All right, so Steve's been working on wiring. I came in and did my help work yesterday and got in Steve's way and made the battery tray. We've been using these little interstate batteries. They're like the largest motorcycle ATV batteries you can get. You can turn them on your side, et cetera, et cetera. They got like 600 cranking amps or something, so they're pretty good. As long as your car is running well, it works fine. We have one in the Stroll Coupe, Roadster pickup, and we're gonna use that in this one because it's nice and small. So we got the battery tray all mounted in. You can't really see it, but Steve's got this, you can see where our little like military style switches. Screw goes down into here, into the floor, and then of course all these go in. We have the floorboard loose right now for access. So, moment of truth, Steve's got wiring hooked up to the ignition switch and the starter button. So,
Ooh, better turn the ignition on.
see, that switch works. We proved it. All right, so we're cranking. We gotta take that fan off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're gonna cut the hoses. We'll take care of that in a second. All right, so now let's test our switch here. That should be dead now. It's on. All right, now try it again.
On.
Uh-oh. Did I turn it the wrong way?
Yeah, you turned it. It's got to drop down.
No,
Just a little bit of a turn. That's it. There you go.
I went too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
So
we go.
our cutout switch works. That'll be really cool for just disconnecting when the car is in storage, or also it is a nice little theft deterrent. Anybody that's watching, don't steal my car.
Don't tell.
It was a theft deterrent, so we just told everyone.
No, we'll have a key as well. We just haven't put that. We haven't gotten a key made for this lock cylinder. So everything pretty much hooked up here. Steve has the wiring just laid in. We're going to wrap everything with cloth tape. That's kind of what we do because I'm a cheap ass and I don't like buying the cloth covered wiring is really nice, but it's expensive. And when you're doing as many cars as we do, it ends up being a pain in the butt when you run out. So I just order normal vinyl covered wiring and we wrap it in the cloth tape. And I think as it's on the car, it ages in and it looks fine. So right now we're going to be using a different distributor on this car eventually. I have an original Kong distributor for it, dual coil. Super cool, but I'm sending that away to get redone. So we're leaving the stock one on. That 3rd gen redid it, started the engine and worked fine. So now I think it is time to put some fuel in this thing.
We're gonna pull the fan off first.
We will pull the fan off. I didn't space that out yet. That was a job Matt was supposed to do and forgot about. So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna see if we can get this thing to fire to make sure that the wiring for the ignition switch and all that is good and the fuel system is hooked up correctly. And then we are ready to, make some noise.
Coming at you.
See anything coming out here?
It's a good start.
Where's the next fitting? Not up till.
Yeah, the line's one piece all the way up to the
Okay.
fuel filter.
I don't see anything here, then we're pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's what that means. Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to put, I don't know, 3 gallons in or something.
That's. What is this?
3, 4, whatever. Just leave it like maybe a
That's probably 3 gallons there.
Okay. Yeah, good. Just leave enough for that banger engine if you want. We need some for the. You know.
Uh-oh, I even got some on the paint.
See that? See how true that my patina
Exactly.
job was? Because that's what happened.
That's exactly what it was.
And then you rub your hand like that, then with a rag.
Right, you got
takes
it.
the paint off.
Mm-hmm.
So believable. All this dirt on here.
Living dangerously.
All right. I don't know if we have enough fuel or not, but we can crank it some.
Yep. Here we go.
It's going to take a while to get fuel all the way up there. All right.
Ready?
Yep. That's what it needed.
Yep.
That'll definitely get the fuel to pull.
Yep. I think barked pretty good there.
Go ahead.
Ready?
It's firing right up. So.
Yep, just getting the fuel up to it.
Just keep doing that because that little bit. That.
Ready?
Should I close that choke all the way? That might be too much. I don't know. Go ahead. Better. Oh yeah, I can hear the squirt now.
Oh,
Go ahead.
here we go.
That's good, but we're leaking there. That fitting.
Same place?
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right, we got fuel. It runs. It idled right away. Shit, man. It's like we ran this engine before. Yeah, I could see it was running that. I don't know if...
That's pretty tight. I might need to put another fitting, another ferrule.
Ferrule on it?
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Throttle too much?
Yeah, that's definitely still leaking. I'll have to change the ferrule on that.
You think it's coming right out that edge there a little bit?
Yeah, I got it. It's just about done. Just about not leaking, but I got it so tight now. It's just.
You're gonna end up stripping something
Yep.
out. Okay. Well, if that's. Can you carefully cut the ferrule without shortening the line?
That's what I'm hoping. Hopefully, I can take just a hair off the line.
Yeah. Okay. And I was worried it was going to catch when it was about to cut through. All right, so now all right, so did a couple things since we fired it, just to get it a little more car-like or engine-like. So Steve worked on, we got these, I showed him in the beginning of the video, they're like these Z-shaped hoses. They were big, but they had the little Z we needed, and they worked out perfect. Gives you just the rise that you need on the hose to get it to fit on the radiator, and then to drop down fit on the engine. So it's a tight fit no matter what. You kind of need to make the radiator loose and slide it on there. But that looks good. We don't have clamps on yet because we still need to, I realized that I have the wrong crank pulley on there. This used a really cool early Stuart Warner tack drive that mounts on the crank. It's sitting down in here. Anybody remembers the saga with the car? I actually lost it when we bought the car. It got dropped on the ground and sat in the building until we went to pick up the lift, and I found it. So we need to actually change the crank pulley, and we also need, so we'll need to pull the radiator again, and then we'll put clamps on. Other thing I did in a couple shots in between, you guys may have seen, I took 2 fans and made one. We needed a fan that would clear these hoses here, so it needed to be a little bit longer, and the other one I had was too, or the one we had on was too short and it was hitting the hoses, and the other one I had was too long, it would run into the radiator. So I parted it on the lathe and made everything slip together, and then I welded it in the center, and we put it together, and I used some solid rivets again to rivet it just like it was originally. So see, we got a good fit up. It's nice and close to the radiator, but still has a pretty good clearance here, and get my hand in between, and we are good. So I think in celebration, we're gonna fire it up one last time and call it good for this video. So let's see how she does. Yes, that's awesome. All right, so a very successful day. We got to hear the DeLorean Roadster run, probably for the first time since like 54, I'm gonna guess, because that was when, roughly 53 or 54 is when Jack told us that he sold the car. They pulled the engine because it was their engine and they kept it, and then the car, we don't believe, ever really drove around after that. So it runs super cool, really exciting, and it sounds healthy. It sounds awesome. I know we ran it on the run stand, but having it in the car with the pipes going down under the car, it sounds awesome. And it just idles really, really well. So now we have a bunch of stuff we got to button up, like I talk about in a lot of these videos. And anybody has built a car like this from parts, we got all the work in between. It takes much longer than what it did to shoot this part of the video. So we need to work on, like I said, doing some of the hose clamp stuff, changing out a crank pulley. Steve's going to continue to work on getting the charging system all hooked up and wired up. We got to wrap all the wires in cloth tape and get everything tightened up and battery bolted down, etc., etc. We got a bunch of work to still do. We still got to bleed the brakes, even though Steve got the brake lines all made. We didn't get that done yet, so still have a lot of work to do, but we will definitely do an update. I think once we get this thing, get some coolant in it, get some gear lube in the rear and also the trans and all that stuff, maybe in the next video we'll get a shot of maybe moving it around the property, which will be insane to me. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, but this is like monumental occasion. This one is even more special than a lot of them because of what the car is and how long it's sat and what it's taken us to get this car from where it was to what you see now. So thank you guys for following along. Let me know what you think of the flathead engine, how it sounds in the comments down below. Thanks guys. Catch you later.